So, in the depths of our oceans, there are many types of species. And when you go really deep in the water, you might encounter a species by the name of sea pig. Now, the proper name for a sea pig is a Scotoplanes globosa. And I will tell you all about them and why they are interesting, to say the least. So, who are they? Or who am I? Well, a sea pig is not a regular pig, or the pigs you probably know. So, a land pig and a sea pig are two different creatures, as you can see. The creature on the left is a pig in the sea, a land pig, that is. The creature on the right is an actual sea pig. The easiest way to know if you're talking to a land pig or a sea pig is this simple. You can walk up to them and ask them. If you walk up to a land pig and ask it, "Are you a pig?" it might oink at you. If you walk up to a sea pig and try to ask it, "Are you a pig?" you get a mouthful of salt water and it might look at you funny. So the common names of animals are often misleading. So, sea pigs are cousins with sea cucumbers. Not regular cucumbers, but sea cucumbers, as you can see. The sea pig is not the same thing as a cucumber, but it is similar to a sea cucumber. The phylum known as Echinodermata is a large group that includes everything from starfish to urchins to sand dollars, but it includes the family Holothuriida, which is the family that sea cucumbers and then sea pigs are also in. So, where do they come from? That's the big question. You've probably never seen one of these things before because of where they're from. So, they are deep sea creatures that are from the floor portions of the episopelagic zone, or more commonly known as the abyss. This is a zone that is deep underwater from a range of about 1,000 meters to 6,000 meters, being the ocean basin at the bottom of the abyss. Now, these abyssal plains are all over the Earth. This is just a simple map that has them in red. So you can find these little guys everywhere, but you have to be willing to go thousands of meters underwater to find them. So the sea pigs have distinct physiology, or physiology, as you could say. Life in a deep sea environment such as that, thousands of meters underwater, will put you under pressure. So these little guys have tubes for locomotion that look like little legs on the body attached to the bottom. So the tubes actually get filled with water to inflate, which allow them to walk around on the surface. This evolutionary trait is very distinct, but it is probably due to the harsh temperature and pressure due to the deep ocean environment. So the difference in pressure causes them to be able to move around on these little tube legs that are just filled with water. They also have a defense mechanism of a toxic skin with a very toxic chemical called holothurin, which makes them very unappetizing to deep sea fish and sharks and other creatures, to say the least. So, I've shown lots of pictures of these creatures so far, but they're actually really tiny. Little itty bitty guys. They are small, and the theory behind that small body size is the small, light body size allows them to handle the pressure differential of being in a very deep depth. They're about 4 to 6 inches in size, and the picture on the right shows their size compared to the size of a normal human diver. So their physiology is also very fragile. So they have a poorly developed respiratory system that needs to be under high pressure to work properly. And their vascular system for their blood and other fluids is also it is also necessary for them to be under very high pressure. So, no, you cannot have one of these as a little pet. They require a very specific environment, or else they just fall apart and stop working, which is sad. So, on to food and friends. So, these bottom feeding creatures don't seem to mind having relationships with other creatures as long as they're not bothered. They will swim away if they feel threatened, but oftentimes they don't mind. They live a more relaxed lifestyle, if you will. One of the most interesting things about the character of inter-animal relationships with sea pigs is that nobody knows why. The sea pigs certainly don't seem to mind, but they are often found with king crabs clinging to them. He doesn't mind being used as a hiding spot. He just doesn't seem to care at all, even. Related to not caring at all is the next part of my presentation. Food is food. So, sea pigs, they are not high-class diners. They dine on detritus, meaning anything that's matter that's decaying. They eat decaying organic matter off the seafloor because that's where they hang out, and they don't care if it looks like a corpse because sometimes it is. This image here is an example of a bunch of sea pigs hanging out around the corpse of a whale. Just eating it up. They don't care if it looks ugly because food is food. So conservation concerns for the sea pig. Due to a wide range of habitats and how far into the depths of the ocean they are, they're not considered an endangered species. However, deep sea drilling is the main threat for sea pigs. Because their skin is poisonous, predation is not a true threat to them, but pollution is. While they're not threatened by surface ocean pollution, such as floating trash and other types of surface pollution, deep sea drilling can lead to pollution deep down in the oceans, leading to the sea pig habitat being tainted. Although the name is misleading, it is definitely more sushi than bacon, because it is a pig of the sea, making it more closely related to a fish, both phylogenetically and in identity, than the land pig you know. So, sources to learn more. I recommend the sources I have used. The Monterey Bay Aquarium, which is a fantastic institution in California. They have a lot of information about sea pigs, and their research institute has even greater detail. The Marine Society of South Australia had a lot of information due to there being abyssal depths around Australia off its southern coast. And Our Breathing Planet is a website that often tracks species and threats and potential dangers to them, and it is worth using to learn more about the sea pig. The mysterious bottom dweller of the sea that is both funny in name and in function. And that is the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again real soon.